Lovely Tuesday morning to everyone. Prayfully, you beautiful people have rested peacefully and perfectly. It is 10:22 a.m. Tuesday morning, the 9th of April 2024. Yesterday was a lovely scene of an eclipse in which when it happened, it looked like it was going to rain, and it was quite dark, like if it was much later in the evening. It was a beautiful and rare sight for anyone to see. And it was welcome worldwide. That's the beautiful part. It wasn't that one had to travel. All you had to do was just look in the sky from any point on your planet, on Earth. So anyway, today we completed the removal of the unwanted seats as such, more so like where they were positioned. So the original idea, well, that's not even true either, but the idea was to remove the remaining bus frames that was here, and me finally just figured just remove them all, which I would imagine that viewers, experts, people who've done this, people who are doing this would have already suggested doing that. But it was tiring to do this alone, getting, as mentioned, burned, scrapes, cuts, bruises, hot, cold. I done experienced just many discomforts doing this. But it's important that I did this because then I could put a frame of some sort over the wheel wells. I proposed using the frames that were there and just repositioning them instead of the horizontal way that the frames were. I've learned they can be laid up against this frame. That frame against the wall is very important to keep that. And so basically they could be lined against this. It's simply, there will have to be a little bit of modification to ensure that they can withstand the weight in the center. So it won't, in essence, weigh on the plastic. But otherwise, I do have an example of that in the other rolling condos. So both rolling condos have had the wheel wells cleared. This is a property that is owned by someone in which staying on a person's property isn't ideal. It's not permitted. And me stayed out here figuring, well, I didn't want to leave last night while it was dark, trying to get all this accomplished. Plus, I was getting sloppy with the work. What I mean by sloppy with the work is these swirls is because the angle grinder was dug into the rubberized floor. So that's what I mean by I was getting sloppy because I didn't have enough light, and I was actually depending with the sparks of the angle grinder to be able to judge what am I scraping. And so I figured, well, I don't want to be negligent of removing these seats, being rushy and just simply careless. That's not, I didn't mean to be careless, but ultimately that's the end result is carelessness. So this is a beautiful example of having walkable room. Still thinking about putting a sofa in that space here, and there is a um a sofa that is shown in the white rolling condo that me was just thinking, could it or should it be placed there on top of a frame, because I don't have long enough legs under the sofa to be able to fit over the wheel well. And furthermore, with it being wood, I would be concerned that the wood legs would either break, or maybe the little rod that screws into the actual frame of the sofa would probably break from movement. Don't know that, but I'd rather not chance that. So just thinking about multiple ways that this could be furnished. So I'm going to go over to the other rolling condo. This is bus 300. There is some imperfections with an older bus such as this one, meaning the steps I could hear crackling as we walk on it, connoting that the either is metal plates in there that is rusted or a combination of wood that is shattered. But either way, it's going to have to be altered, modified, replaced, repaired, whichever, to allow it to be able to withstand weight. So I do hear crackling in there. And also, this isn't new, but I especially learned it with the other rolling condo, that the battery bank or compartment, which can't be probably seen this way, but there's a, well, this is not going to be a good example here, but there's a lot of rust that has essentially left a large hole in the battery compartment, if there's a safe way to get over here, because it's a slight slippery slope over here. And I'm going to have to educate myself. See, all that rust, those are rust pieces. There's a hole there. Hole there. So gonna have to figure a way to, the plate that goes across here is inside the rolling condo. So this is the floor that the batteries would have rested on. Well, was resting on from someone else installed it. No fault of anyone house installed. Just simply, this is an old rolling condo. It's out in the elements, and water quite likely seeped into here, and it was probably puddled for a long time, and with elements and time, rotted through. So I'm gonna have to figure what to do about that. I did ask a person about welding, but it seems as people can answer questions but don't keep commitments about being able to help me. Even with their own timetable, they don't keep their word. Even with the amount of money they wanted, still don't keep their word. So I've had a few conversations to help me, but not anyone who's been committed. The only person that committed was well, actually I can't even say that, because the person who came and viewed the rolling condos did not get underneath either the rolling condos to tell me much about it. And I was ignorant at the time. Well, I'm ignorant now, but I was more ignorant at the time to not know what questions to ask, and figuring, well, I'm coming to somebody who's in that business of servicing diesel motors and diesel vehicles, connoting I was having faith that this person would fully educate me. But I'm grateful for what was provided, because at least it gave me more than I had at the time. So this is the rolling condo that has it where the frames are reconfigured. They're not anchored. They're just simply just resting on that quote unquote lip, that metal lip there, just to imagine where anything could be. Figuring maybe to leave that there, potentially not as stationary, but as a way to maybe have it like a an ottoman or a chaise lounge, and still be able to move it to reconfigure it, whether if it's an ottoman at that point or just removing out the way entirely. Simply like options. So this has been swept a few times for both rolling condos. None of it is considered clean, but it's acceptable enough to where the next time I clean it, it'll just be less. And then I also have an air blower to be able to remove additional dust and sweep, and then possibly even use a mop to wash the floors. No, the actual floors won't be rested on. It would be something where, would be laid over. I'm saying, but it would be laid over it. So I'm very, very, very relieved, and sorry for the emphasis, but it has been hot, cold, wet, rainy, windy, burns, cuts, bruise. If I didn't already say, bumps, nicks, scrapes, blood, sweat, no tears. And if it is tears, it's tears from being maybe sleepy or something else. But I know some people have said blood, sweat, and tears, and I don't like to use expressions. I like to speak with accuracy. So there has been some blood, sweat, but I can't really say tears. But I'm happy to say that this is a start to finally envisioning what this could be. This journey began in September of last year, perhaps October. I acquired these rolling condos in September of 2023, and this is now April of 2024. So primarily, it might have began with the paint, not much because it was wet a lot, cold a lot, so it wasn't much that can be accomplished. In essence, it was going, and then just where these rolling condos are in comparison to where me come from. Where me come from is considerable distance for me to be able to come where these are, and then trying to have a other commitments that that has to be complete. I'm saying but had to have other commitments completed. So it was definitely, my time is very divided. I'm not one of those people that have a property that these can be on and can work from home. I'm not one of those people at this one moment in time. But that's the pursuit. That's what this is about, is being able to have passive income, having a property, not in that order, but getting a property, creating passive income, and essentially working from anywhere. I don't even like the word work, because work means labor. That's what I just did to remove these seats. That's labor. But to have a job where the money is more passive than what I actually have to produce to get the money. There are people who just do computerized jobs, and that's not work. In terms of labor, that is a job. And I'm thinking, well, if anyone heard this, there could be a conversational argument. It don't make me any, never mind. I'm just sharing my inward thoughts outwardly. So again, this is a lovely way of seeing what the floor plan could be, and be very pleased that this is finally at a place where I can start. Sure, there's going to be mechanical, electrical, cosmetic, rust proofing on the outside, the inside. So, but just the most difficult part for me at this one moment in time was receipts and the clearing and somewhat the cleaning. Thank you all for your viewing attention and your time. You're welcome to share any comments, suggestions, ideas, complaints, compliments. Subscribe and support the channel. More content will be provided. This will replace a video that was deleted, which you all don't know about. And that was basically during the eclipse that we wanted to share that. But there's a lot of people who've already shared their eclipse, and pretty much mine wouldn't be any special to that. It would just be just a memory that only I would cherish. So anyway, this would be considered quite likely part 8, if I'm accurate. Part 8. Me being facetious when I say this was not a Instagram experience. This was not this was not beautiful, pretty, pleasant, and pretty good looking while configuring this. I've seen videos where people make it look in vogue, make it look comfortable, pleasant, smiley faces, country music being played, and it make it almost like if it's really comfortable to do the work that was done. I mean, they made it look great. You know, I'm not saying that, you know, the realism of it wasn't difficult, but I'm saying that sometimes the way people know how to project can be, they create the perspective they want you to have ultimately. And if you don't have a point of reference, one may believe what they see. And so because I didn't have a point of reference, that's why me brought a battery operated Ryobi angle grinder, believing that that's what me needed, because I seen other people use that for their seat removal that looks similar to the seats here. And but that wouldn't have worked for these. I've tried, and immediately I learned that I needed to get a gasolina generator with an inverter to be able to plug a power angle grinder to be able to remove the seats with lots of grinder wheels. So anyway, this is probably longer than one person may care to see, but you're welcome to not look at it. But overall, as mentioned, these are just me inward thoughts being shared outwardly. So as mentioned in the previous video, these two can be used as a booth for supper, casual seating. I'm about to leave from here several minutes from now. I'm going to put the items outside, inside, which is the generator and extension cord. Just taking some shots for myself because I'm imagining putting some master locks approximately here. A master lock may be able to go there. It's the puck lock. The puck lock. And I'll show what a puck lock look like. So I may go perhaps here or there. And a puck lock is what's on this rolling condo. So that's a puck lock, which there would be a round shaped lock that would fit in there, and that round shaped lock just happens to be on the other side of this door. It needs to be on there, but otherwise this is a master lock puck lock, and the puck lock would certainly lock these two here, in which it's, to me, is a very smart choice to deter someone from entering or trying to grind away. Not impossible, but it just simply, to me, is a better deterrent than some of the other choices that I've seen. So may put one on that side door and alter this door, if not remove this door altogether, and possibly use a puck lock for that as well, and a deadbolt. So the puck lock could be for like when I'm gone for travel, and just have another lock like a deadbolt for when it's going to be like for everyday use. So this is bus 300. This was the original one that me shown. So that's that. I'm going to get some last footage of this. Thank you all. Have a lovely Tuesday and every day. This is Saruno. Hablar contigo, Suez, y chao pa ahora. See?